What makes a dead world? Are we selfish enough to say a world devoid of man? A world devoid of life? Would a dead world be defined as one struggling to produce the life that once was? The creation of life with no knowledge on how to survive on an extinct world, living for only so many years until resting calmly on the floor, starving, gone. Now serving as food and nutrients for the maggots, flies, the insects that thrive off of rotted flesh. Relics scattered about this world. A gate that opens to heaven, locked shut. You wake from this dream of starvation for what feels like the 100th time, only told one thing. Find all the holy objects, and enter your peace eternal. Walking along the overgrowth, swarms of insects, and a graveyard of bodies harboring faces that look identical to yours, you march forth. Though the objects have no meaning to you, you uphold their value as they spell your escape. A quest. A first and final quest as you navigate a labyrinth forged in the alien nature of no biological limitations, twisting its many limbs and changing its format. Can you survive the harsh, derelict world? What does any of this really mean? That's what we're here to figure out in the psychedelic exploration RPG titled Labyrinth Derelict Abyss. Before we get into the meat, allow me to introduce myself. Hello everybody, my name is Backpack Comics and welcome to Internet Lore, the show where we look at a subject, game, or piece of internet history and find out all about it. Today, we will be looking at Labyrinth Derelict Abyss. So what is LDA? What makes this game worth playing? What are the deeper themes explored in this game? Well, let's find out. Labyrinth Derelict Abyss was released sometime in August of 2020. The game was made by Juneflower, an RPG maker. They have quite the library on itchio pertaining to a similar style, as well as partaking in many collaborations with other developers. The art style of Juneflower is very distinctive. Upon doing further research, June is also known for their music. In that, I am very excited to hear the tracks of the game. Other people who worked on the game sound are Shia Leffler and Bleep. Love that name. According to their itchio bio, they are, and I am quoting because I think this is funny, "Hi, I'm a horrible dipshit making brain poison for your brain prison." This person sounds cool. Even making those who play it experience a level of discomfort. Right up our alley here on the channel. Now, let's take a look at the name, seeing if there's any clues to what we may experience. Even hints to help us decode the game. Derelict is an adjective and it's defined as being in poor condition, even neglected. A labyrinth left in a poor condition and through this neglect had become a sort of abyss with no escape. We can assume the game may take place underground. We've been playing a lot of games that deal with abysses. Zero Abyssal Song. On itchio, the game is explained as an ancient and ethereal place with a mysterious past. What exactly happened in this world? The game is completely free and I will link it down below if you would like to experience it for yourself before we dive too deep. I also highly recommend supporting Juneflower as they create high quality works of art. Alright, enough dilly-dallying. What makes this game so good? Well, let's go over the basics. Let me get my script real quick. Let me scroll down real quick. Oh shit. I haven't played the game yet. So how about this? Let's play Labyrinth Derelict Abyss, and then I'll let you know how it is. If you do not wish to see myself play through the full game in its entirety, you can skip to this timestamp here. Well, without further ado, let's dive right on into the game. Let's just dive right on into the game. How about that? Oh, what happened? Oh man. You are fully formed. Do what you must. What is this place? You know, I mean, we're in a labyrinth. Derelict Abyss. What does derelict mean? I already said it, I think, in the video. I think I'm almost done with this script. Pretty crazy. Now, we have our instructions here. We're in a little silly circle. I remember, actually, you could play this game with a controller. How quaint. How quaint. I love playing on controller on games like this because it's just super chill. Let's take in this environment. This game is an art exhibit. I shit you not. This is truly how I view this game. It is just so like absurdly creative, and the changing music in every environment. So let me explain this to you boys. Relic obtained. Failure. You. The relief. The relief your existence brings me is immeasurable. As you can see, I was unsuccessful. However, I have faith that you will not suffer the same fate. I wish you the best of luck, and thank you. Collect 12 relics. Get the fuck out of Neo. You know what I'm saying? So this actually is the way that we need to go. This will give us hints right here. I'm the hint machine. I can help you find relics. Do you require my aid? We do not. I actually know where all the relics are. I have played this already. I wasn't going to do a let's play of this game. I thought it was a little bit longer than I anticipated, but it wasn't. So I decided to just jump back in it, put a few more, a few more hours on the game. It's a great game. I really enjoy it. It is just like stunning. It's just, I don't know how people think of shit like this. Like, it's just so, there's just like an odd like beauty to it, where it's just like everything is so strange and confusing, but somehow there's just like, there is a story here. We're gonna go through the Door of Redness, actually. Up here? Through the secret teleporter. Okay, so we're a little worm. I actually don't understand like any of the, like what this means, that we're like a little wormy squirmy, but it's okay. We're dealing with it. We are dealing with it. I know there's something over here that we need. How you guys doing? It's probably been a while. I'm working on like 8 scripts at once. Oh, here we go. Wheel of Dolor. We are all born into this world with the burden of having to care. The distinction is whether or not you choose to discard it. I have tried not to for my entire life, but I cannot blame the beings who do. You cannot blame. Look at that little worm, little soured face. You guys ever have a soured face? Leave a comment. I don't know really what that means, but I'm sure somebody will figure it out. Oh, look, we're a fish. Fish back into a scrimp. But yeah, I've been chilling. Really great day today. So I just decided, why not spend some time of that, spend some of my day recording before I really start getting to work. What? Did you see that bug go through here? Okay, what the actual freak is going on? I actually didn't know that you could discover that hint that way. Obtained goop.
Oh, hello. The relic collector. Hey, if you look through the branches here, you can see into the opposite room. Did you see that skeleton? There used to be a little kid. Showed up out of nowhere. Showed up out of nowhere a while ago. I was already a relic, so I couldn't do anything but watch. Poor thing stayed in that room, confused, until it starved and died. I don't think it was even 10 years old. Had to watch its little body rotting away and being torn apart by maggots and flies. Not much of a choice for me to look away, you see. This kid is all I think about anymore. I'm glad you're there. Hopefully I can stop thinking about it after we leave the labyrinth.
That is very sad. But see, it's again, I think I've said this twice today, but existentialism in these indie games, I love it. I love it more than anything, man. So we're gonna go down, actually. I'm pretty sure I remember where most of these are. It's just, we're along for the experience. We're just driving down. I love this thing, this little whale thing. What is that? Leave a comment, dude. Some little silly circles, a little arrow pointing us over near to go into the room's yellow. Everything is fine. Fine is everything. And I hope you die, and I hope you die. Big homie, anguish. Small worm, withering inside a doe's body. I know how you feel, and in all honesty, I just really can't take this goddamn shit anymore. Let's go. This guy was just like keen to go. So it's like, I don't know. So they say it's relics, right? Like they're relics, but are they like gods? Oh, what is this? A little relics? Eshe.
That damn fool Pampor. Even long after passing, her infernal contraptions just keep on creating life. A never-ending flow of useless critters, all living and dying in ignorance. To think I used to help her.
Just take what's left of me and go. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I think this is like that kind of statement right there, and then I don't know. There's I think that statement right there is like the biggest point in like the direction of like I don't know. I think the relics used to be like gods or something. I think it just makes sense to me. I don't know. Okay, we're not here. Perhaps over over here. Been feeling like a real nerd lately. I've been eating like an apple a day. You know, it's almost summer, guys. I don't are we having a hot backpack summer or whatever? I don't I'm just making up words. We should have a hot backpack summer though. I hope everybody's working on their summer body. I hope if you've been working on your summer body, I hope it's where you want it to be, man. Been really working hard, been really working out, really. I've been going for night runs. Those have been amazing. I really love running at night. I fell in love with running again. It sounds like so weird, you know. It's like I don't know. I just don't hear many people talk about running. I used to be in cross country. Here's a little backpack lore. What is over here? Is this a secret? There's always secrets, guys. You always got to keep your little eyes peeled for secrets. Oh, I got a little frog guy over here. Is it a frog? If I could move over there, we could. Scree! Scree? Okay, we got Scree. I think Scree is my favorite. I will say that much. I think Scree is my favorite. So we went through there. Oh, what's over new? Oh, I'm okay. But yeah, night runs have been doing it for me. They're very fun. It's just nice to get out and just like run in the cold air. And then nobody's around either. I don't know, running in the, I don't know. Well, wasn't he a promiscuous little fella? Oh, it does follow you. I've already played this, by the way. It's just like things are still shocking to me. Yeah, so running's been everything for me. Still in my kickboxing era too. Love it. What's over near? Oh, right. Oh, I hate this room. So I actually got lost here and I had an existential crisis. Like, I'm not even joking. I had like a crisis in this room where I got super lost. I think I remember the way. But dude, it was so bad. I wasn't recording like audio or anything. I was just like here and I was like, am I gonna be stuck here forever? Like, did I just like fuck up the save? I didn't, but it was just like the idea of it was just like, I don't know, it was somewhat horrifying to me. The guy in here is like kind of weird too. He's like a designer or something, I think. Really, really interesting. Yeah, I was like in here listening to the music and I was like, is this it? Is it the end of the Let's Play? You know? Hellboys. Oh my. After all this time, is my lonely sentence finally near its end? Or perhaps you're the relic collector. Either way, I'm delighted to finally have the opportunity to get out of this undesirable place. Can you believe they threw me in here for nothing but the tender crime of enjoying myself? I'm a tolerant person, but I might want to request some form of reparation for this. In any case, let's make headway onwards. You remember the path you used to get there, right? Oh, Valcor, whatever the fuck your name was. I did Velcro. I remembered it exactly. And just like Velcro, we're gonna pull apart at the seams of my hair if we get lost, which I doubt. I doubt we'll get lost. Yeah, dude, we still got it. Dude, it's man. Moments like these, you realize you still got it. Dab me up, guys. Dab me up. There's always that one dude, you know, that like, he's like, yeah, dab me up and stuff. And then it's like, I don't know, they're just so aggressive with it. It's like, dude, what the fuck off? Dab yourself. Give yourself a dab job. Yeah, that was a joke. Actually, I'm gonna just pick up a quick hint. Just to make sure like everything is all good. I'm the hit machine. I can help you find relics. Do you my aid? But see, games like this are just like, they're kind of relaxing. It's surprising. Like, it's this isn't like a diss or anything. I'm just like personally not a fan of RPG Maker games. It takes a really good one for me to get immersed, and this one, like, I've played this one twice now. You know, like this one really did it for me. I am Pamphor, the lymph scholar. Through lymph thracing, I created this place, and yet all that remains of me is this dark stain on my research is fruitless. I summoned you here. As such, I believe you deserve to know why. The labyrinth traps us. Beyond our existence, we remain stuck as relics. Gather us and leave this place. We will be free, and so shall you. Now go. May you be successful. Thank you. That's a reason why I'm like, it's pointing in the direction that these are all like the old gods or something. I think if you hit pause, you can see 9 relics. Oh, I did it over my other save. Okay. So we have 9 relics. I don't fucking know where the other ones are. I ain't even gonna lie. But yeah, some games are just like really amazing. Like listen to this music. There's just like so much creativity and passion and thought put into this. Like it's definitely like a world bigger than like what it seems, you know? Like the story on this is just like so large, but it's also like, I don't know. It's just not spoken. I think that's like what I really enjoy about these is when the story isn't really spoken. Materia. As you traverse these rooms, you might think of this place as a carefully constructed, coherent structure. It is the easy thing to assume, but that would be untrue. The more I study it, the more I realize this place is closer to a stain, dripping stochastically under the effect of gravity. I don't know why I keep rolling my R's today, it just feels right. There is no purpose to the frame of these walls. However, that doesn't mean that they are devoid of meaning. I see it as a vandalism of the notion of place itself. But that is just my own deduction. And I'm just a big glowing thing suspended into the air, so what do I really know? What does he really know, guys? Leave a comment. What does he really know? Of course. Oh, okay. Let's go back. That was weird. I didn't know that was gonna happen. It's just something that, it did. I apologize to those of you who have a fear of rabbits. Is that real, chat? I haven't streamed in so long. Is that real, chat? Huh? Is there a fear of rabbits? Is it bunnyosis? Bunnyclitosis? Toes? Yeah. I was watching, started watching Tim and Eric again. Tim and Eric's bedtime stories to be exact. Let's hit a hint real quick. What did it say? North, then east from the large egg. Fuck me. The large egg? Did we stumble across an egg in our travels? I did start watching Tim and Eric again. I freaking love the bedtime stories. I was watching the episode last night. It's just episode 2 of season 1 where Bob Odenkirk is the toe surgeon. And he's cutting off people's toes. And he's fantasizing about putting them in his mouth and eating them. Like I said, it's a really great show. I recommend it to everyone. I fucking love it. But yeah, that's been doing me well at night. Also, I'm almost done with The Bear finally. I can't believe I haven't finished that yet. The Bear is just such a good show. It really makes me want to get into cooking. Actually, I've been having this idea for a while. I have no clue when this is gonna go up, but hopefully, like, I get these all done at the same time. That would be so ideal. Get these all done at the same time. Oh, a little smiley face. Get these all done at the same time. Just like have it a very decent backlog and just like have time to take my time on some other projects. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm spraying? Like, is this the egg? This said east from the egg? No, this isn't it. Where's that egg that everybody seems to like want to talk about so fondly? They're right. This is like a fucking labyrinth. Derelict. Abyss? Yeah, the bear is really good. I don't really remember what I was saying. So this when you see your imagination. That's so funny. You know, I said it today with my chest out. I was like, oh, today's Tuesday. It is Saturday. So yeah. Recording. I have seen many worlds, and this is the stupidest of them all. Well, you heard it here first, folks. This world is probably the stupidest world of them all. It looks like we got all 12 relics, so why don't we go cash out? You know, see, you don't go to Vegas to actually, I actually don't go to Vegas, so I don't know what I really don't know what people do there. But I know that they cash in their chips and shit, right? I have no more hints to give. All relics found. System is inactive. Let's go through these pearly whites. The deed is done. I love it when games do this. Oh, it's the mask. And little hams, dude. Little cozy hams. Well, that's my desktop. So, firstly, I will be going over the main mechanics of the game, but I just want to preface that this game does touch on deeper subjects. Just a little warning, right, y'all? Before we dive too in, I will be forcibly injecting humor every now and again. Just know I have ADHD, and let's dive in to the game. First, starting off with gameplay, soundtrack, graphics, etc., this game was made in RPG Maker. Something odd I found with the game was the lack of interactability. Not a diss or a complaint by any means. I think it's interesting to let the visuals tell more of a story than simple text. When text is present, it is greatly appreciated, providing humor or context of the world. Simply use the arrow keys and spacebar to interact with the relics. One notable thing as well, it's not often I find myself in the mood to use a controller, but I decided that this game would be fun to use one and, chillax. Do people say that anymore? To my surprise, it worked. I was so happy. I had a nice, hot, sweet green tea with a 2 p.m. sun shining through my room, laid back in my gaming chair with a leg up, just vibing to the experience. There's something about that, man, I just appreciate so much. It adds to the enjoyment of the game in my experience. Next, let's talk about the sound design. The music is banging. The environment songs change with every new area, each being a unique track. This adds a sort of element of mystery to the area, giving a specific vibe. Each area, of course, having a vibe to it and also a color palette, each unique. With the uniqueness of the music in every environment, it really does add to the imagination, especially when surrounded by strange remnants of the labyrinth. Where to even begin on the art of the game? Geez, man. Stunning, immersive, and thought-provoking are 3 words I believe sum up the game fairly well. You can get lost in every detail of the environment. I feel like you can spend a good 5 to 6 minutes taking everything in and still not understand where you are, still seeing things and different playthroughs that you hadn't noticed before. This isn't a flex, but I've played the game about 4 or 5 times now just because I really like picking up on new things with every experience. That and recording issues, but we're not gonna we're not gonna talk about that. There are also secrets littered in the environments. Most secrets are required to find progress, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's things that I missed. I noticed while exploring the creator's catalog of games that they love adding secrets in their games, so that's where that statement stems from. I really enjoy the creativity and passion behind the game. I'm a big fan of the art style and the experimental music. I'm not sure what to call this very distinct, unique pixel art style. The way it's spread out, you can use this to infer so much about the game and never come to a conclusion at all. I'm gonna call this Juneflowerism. Yeah, I went to art school. Going on some possible theories of the game, this is really where I struggled in writing this. Just being transparent here. Just being a little transparent. I've kind of broken it down to several theories, and I don't think any of them are right, and I would love to hear what you guys take from the game down in the comment section below. I would absolutely love to see if you can figure it out, or if you have something completely opposite to my interpretation of it. That's why I love games like this, man. Thanks to the game's dialogue, we are able to piece together the narrative of the game. We will be analyzing the characters speaking as I believe they were all designed carefully, representing something important to the labyrinth. Specifically, there are 12 relics. We talk about religion and pantheons of gods a lot here on the channel, so gather around, class. What pantheon we'll be looking into today? I'll give you guys a hint. I think of Rome about 12 times a nanosecond, and the Roman gods were heavily inspired by this pantheon. I'll give you guys a sec to exercise your fingies in the comments section. Don't worry, checking my watch here, you guys still got time. Pencils down, pencils down. Pass it to the front. Pass everything to the front. All your papers, I need them in front right now. Pass all your papers to the front. Hey, pass all your papers to the front right now. I don't care if you're done. You in the back, stop crying or you're gonna get the red sticker of the death, and you don't want your parents to come in. All right, great job, class. Let's read your answers, specifically Jason's. Jason, if you were watching this, let's see if you got it right. Let me see. Aw, okay. Huh. I never thought of it that way. Interesting. Oh right, there is poop all over this paper. I'm gonna call campus security, but the answer was a Greek pantheon. Some of you guys did really good. Jason, anyway, specifically the 12 Olympians. I'm going to go to the restroom, wash my little hams. Security will restrain and detain Jason, escorting him to child jail, of course. What did we learn today, class? Don't write with poop. Yeah. The theory of this is very loose, as I believe the correlation relates more to some characters than others. I'll make these connections as we go along and explain the character's lore and motivation. Some of the characters will not have comparisons. If you can make a connection, feel free to leave it down in the comment section below. There's also other things that I'd like to compare 12 to, like 12 parts of the brain, the 12 parts of the zodiac, and I will elaborate on these as we go along. Again, all of these theories are pretty loose, but at least the story is pretty solid and you can infer what you wish. Dolor also means pain in Spanish. The game is very philosophical, as the phrases of some of the relics or old gods speak on matters of life. Why do we have to care? Is it hard to not care? Or is it easier to adapt to our already instilled emotions and give compassions to others, all at the cost of being hurt? The state of decision in man is a painstaking one that involves not only overthinking, but the torment of making a decision. A decision also requiring the energy to execute it, as well as no one option may have to be denied. Compassion is tricky, and it's hard to trust somebody enough to give them a bit of yourself to help them heal. Sometimes it requires no energy at all. Is it worth it to get this deep with a stranger? Will I be hurt the same again? This conversation can actually go very deep into, is man inherently good or evil? As of writing this, I believe man is inherently good, with a twist. I believe outside influences and the experience of life can change us the instant we get a taste of cognition. I believe also that the terms good and evil are vague, and men can operate more on instinct. Sometimes the moral compass of society can deem such things. Would you rather trust the moral compass of a collective or your own? Anyway, I got mad trust issues myself. I've been working on giving people the benefit of the doubt. What about you guys? Next, we take a look at the tragedy of goop. Sometimes things we see in life can take a toll on us, changing our outlook or trajectory, especially something as terrifying as this. Seeing a child being torn apart by maggots burrowing into the flesh, flies fucking and breeding in the vessels of a once sentient creature, not wasting anything, for this could be their last meal too. Reduced to a skeleton, haunted by an empty stomach, now barren of life, of flesh. Resting, perhaps now peacefully. Death can feel like this sometimes. Watching someone fade away, looking at a one-sided mirror. In this reflection we see our pain. Looking past it, our loved one. The way we intake tragedy is unique to each. It is sad. Pairing this to the Wheel of Dolor, does our protagonist show a level of compassion and sentience in saving this creature? We can see with failure that they are programmed to do this specific task, yet they too experience a level of sentience a machine cannot. Are these creatures manufactured? Yes. Are they man or machine? I think that they are living matter with feelings. As we see in the end of the game, we become an individual. Removing the mask, completing our task. That rhymed. Going back to the decision of care, I think it's two-sided. We care to save everyone because it helps our own selfish desire to escape. We care to help everyone because it is our one directive and purpose. Maybe we do care enough to save everyone as failure tells us of how being unsuccessful has hurt them so. Since we spoke about failure earlier, I believe that they are extremely sentient, that they feel this care and can act upon it regardless of what will happen to them. Whether it is a form of self-saving or does not necessarily matter, they have to get out of the abyss. I also believe that the relationship between failure and the protagonist is as such. Perhaps it is one of a siblings bond, where the relief is in seeing that your kin is succeeding. Could also be parental. The one before you is your elder. What really attracts me to this character is the line, "The relief of your existence brings me as immeasurable." What a beautiful sentence. No way. Our big homie Anguish has something to say. This gives us context to the world. When we are in those 2D segments of the game, the whole game's in 2D, why did I write that? When we play in the worm segment of the game, we're playing as a worm. Like, what the hell? Okay, well, this actually provides context I understood when playing the game, I think for the third time? So our little body is a vessel controlled by a worm, maybe even a maggot, that we were put into these puppets to collect all the relics, possibly giving salvation to all those trapped and ourselves. Anguish is also a worm. The worms told me to do it. The ever so moody Esche has some critiques to give to one of the other relics in the labyrinth. Pamphor is a character that we will discuss later. This shows some character development, possibly a long history of all these characters having to interact before being trapped in the relics. Now, their goal is only to escape. Esche refers to us as useless, and I will try not to hold that against them. The cycle of the relic collectors have spanned eons, maybe. They seem to all fail, but maybe they all improve after the one before them. I believe this character to be most related to Hades. Some other notes about the interaction with the carelessness of how they feel about the relic collectors. They seem to not see us as equals. We are simply tools to get everyone out of the abyss. We also do have a creator, that being Pamphor. This proves that we were all created by some being, but it does not answer what exactly we're made of. We know we are a worm maggot put into a vessel. From our environment, we see that there are mostly biological parts left behind. Also, strange contraptions with no explanation, all being either barely functioning or broken. I believe we are made of both, and the controlling factor or pilot of the body is organic material, being the worm thing. Fun fact as well, I thought Esche was familiar, and I had wondered where I had heard it. Thanks to the Only Angel for teaching me this fun Australian word that means wannabe gangster. Defined from Urban Dictionary, they are usually poor as fuck and tend to sport Nike TNs, or baggy shorts. They also waste their Centrelink payment on weed and pingas. I also don't know what a pinga is. Oh, here we go. It's slang for MDMA such as ecstasy and Molly. Moving on to a very interesting character, Scurry. Scurry? This is very profound, and you might think I'm joking, and I'm not. No matter what the media says and no matter what lies people tell about me, I have backed Scree throughout their entire campaign. This entire statement is so thought-provoking and so profound. This could be a whole deep dive of its own, so leave a comment if you'd like me to do an hour-long video on the lore and history of Scree. Zui, carrying a very similar sentiment, ha, ha 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 ha, ha. Guess someone's got a case of the giggles. Hellvoice is a bit of a romantic. A great representation of lust. Not sure why this relic was trapped in such an isolated maze. Seemingly, this is one of the harder relics to attain because of the maze it was placed in. The phrase enjoying myself, I don't know if it refers to public mass crustacean, if you catch my drift. Maybe even to go so far as to say that sometimes in finding love of any kind is a maze that leads to what you are seeking or back to yourself. I believe Hellvoice to represent Aphrodite, though Aphrodite was also represented in other ways like victory and prosperity. Lastly too, I believe that this is in a maze, isolated, locked away because maybe the feeling of love is no longer needed. This makes me think of the human mind actually. Maybe even the human conscious? How can we lock away and abandon emotions? How sometimes our feelings can be all over the place? How maybe even an event we experience can lead us to lock away an emotion? Like this example, locking away love. In this reclamation, the understanding of our own emotions as the relic collector we play as tirelessly wanders these petrifying halls, faces the demons or instances we have avoided for so long. Maybe less of a journey to free the many gods of the realm, but instead a journey to free the mind. Free our mind of the trauma and hurt so we may have a clear mind once again. One without hate and regret, sadness and self-victimization. Maybe in doing this, we can start to love ourselves again. Or try to understand the complexity of the vast ocean of emotions that we feel as individuals, that we all feel. To have compassion again. That would be nice. Now, Pamphor gives us some excellent context on the world and its functions. The ultimate goal is collect the relics, escape the labyrinth. Though there isn't much in between to give us explanation as to why this happened, what I am assuming is perhaps a mistake by the Limp Scholar. Turned everyone into these relics when toying with creations. A lot is up to interpretation as the experience is about the exploration of the realm. There is a machine of sorts that is breeding these relic collectors after one fails. Perhaps not the original intention, but now serving solely as that. We also see that many have failed before us. Next, from Materia, one of the stranger relics here in the Abyss, there definitely is such a drastic difference between these characters. Some finding beauty in the labyrinth, and others being completely displeased or annoyed by being trapped down here. Materia sees the art in the biology, technology of the seemingly breathing labyrinth. The area where the game takes place is quite extraordinary, and does appear to be a sort of shocking vandalism when walking around. Every room tagged and graffitied in blood, biological material, advancements beyond our comprehension. You never expect what will be in the next room. Walking into the next, there is always so much more to take in. I also appreciate Materia's explanation on the labyrinth, because it's the perfect way to describe it. At least if you're looking at it from maybe a more philosophical or artistic perspective. The second to last character of these entries is the rabbit, who says seemingly nothing, roaring for a short moment before disappearing. This is the only entity to be of the horror variety, having a sort of creepypasta-esque feel to it. Perhaps not every relic is of the highest good, even going so far to say that these seemingly godlike entities are more human than we believed. This leads into another point, the horrific images. Maybe even the rage we feel bottled up inside. Could this possibly relate to Ares, the Greek god? The intensity of the scare is sure to invoke a sort of fear into you. I related to this fear of being shouted at as a child. It also reminded me of this traumatizing rabbit movie that would always scare the absolute shit out of me. Here is an image of it. What is it called? I want to watch it because I want to figure out if it actually was scary or not. This definitely isn't a jump scare by any means, but it is definitely unsettling and doesn't help when being surrounded by alien images, literally in a maze where you don't even know where you are half the time. Anyway, this character I believe represents a primal anger we feel, a sort of fear of seeing ourselves and how horrifying we can be when we are angry. Sometimes, like this array of sound, can be our anger creeping over us, unleashing when unattended feelings are bottled up. Relating back to the brain, relating back to the human consciousness or the, human emotions, this could definitely represent our anger that we harbor within ourselves. Lastly, we see Recordling. This is probably my favorite character and the quote of the world. It's just so blunt and uncaring. Like, get me the hell out of here and make it snappy. Essentially, the story conveys one of entrapment, a labyrinth set in a disgusting and foreign place that is devoid of care. In its confusion is art and cruelty. It's interesting to see that the labyrinth to some is art, having a strange beauty. To others, it's just such an annoyance, just wanting to leave as soon as they possibly can. Others, completely unbothered. I believe this world is a lot like our own, a world built in art. Strange and alien scenery foreign to our minds, that beauty such as this can exist. One in terror, where fear can exist. Horrid abominations formed in hell. Much like in our world, we can see heaven, we can see hell on earth. I believe it is what you make of it yourself. Just like our world, things may be confusing, rules long established that may be foreign to us, witnessing strange beauty and horror. I don't believe the artist's intentions was to parallel this to our world, but rather a story of a breath of fresh air. What I mean by that is, the goal of the game is to escape. When attained, we take off our mask, moving forward in steps quite literally in the real world. Looking more into the game, it speaks a lot on the human experience. I believe the labyrinth to be the human brain. The gods are different personalities in us, even representing core beliefs or events in our lives. The player is the conscious, navigating the harsh and strange landscape of the mind. The world is long abandoned. Maybe we got stuck in our way of thinking. Maybe we have no way to fix ourselves and get over the trauma. Relating to the human experience, I would like to look back at some of the gods. The love area was a complex maze. Love, much like many things in life, of a certain complexity is unique to those who live it. Love being a maze for the abyss means that we have a complicated view on love. It being a maze we have to navigate, get lost in, sometimes never coming out for better or for worse. Love is commonly described as a maze as well. How many more times am I going to say maze? The puzzles we face with another, as we see if we are that piece to fit perfectly into the life of a partner. Sometimes never quite fitting, but forcing it into place. Sometimes the piece so loose, they were never bound together in the first place. And in rare instances, a click that gives you the knowledge to navigate it perfectly. I believe Pam4 represented knowledge and ego. Sometimes we accumulate a lot of knowledge in a or many subjects and we think of ourselves higher than others. Success has done this to many. I mean, literally, look at the plethora of documentaries here on YouTube of YouTubers or celebrities that end up being weird, egotistical freaks. Maybe when broken down to its most vulnerable state, this creates self-actualization, self-awareness. Maybe even without a veil of caring what people think. The next area I wanted to discuss were the savage rabbit and the person witnessing the death of a child. A big factor in the view on trauma, sometimes death is such. A window into someone's life fading away slowly. A collapsed hand. A face turned gray. Black bile launched from a once loved one's lips, showing the eternal bleeding and suffrage of the person. A last breath at 3 a.m. Just like the immobile character, death is a window of unbreakable glass. We can try to do everything in our power to prevent or stop, delay it, but it is inevitable as a breath. The hopelessness of this combined with the strange state of the rabbit can represent anger felt with death. Them also being so isolated compared to the bright areas that some of the other relics are found can show how isolating this is. Even going so far as to relate it to love, that was heavily isolated in a very strange black and white maze. When both of these concepts, death and love, have so much color to them. But sometimes we choose to only see the good and the bad in it. Fists split open from a heart filled with contempt of a loved one never saved. Come to think of it, the 12 spirits can also represent the 12 stages of grief. The number 12 is so vast and can have so many representations. Leaving the realm of the abyss is perhaps us coming into contact with the reality of it all. Learning from our mistakes, becoming a stronger person, breaking a vicious cycle of harm. Many have tried before you to escape, and finally, you were the one that did it. Grief is complex and unique from person to person. Relationships with the living and the dead are even more complex. Sometimes we need to grieve in our own way. Just being transparent, I used to run, and running away from situations, trying to find an escape, I soon learned that this is not the way. Now I face it full front. There is nothing wrong with crying and loving someone. One of the most beautiful things about life is shedding tears. This is something that I've learned recently. There is an ease of our souls when we do this. Releasing harsh blue sadness, screaming until our lungs bloody, trying to get the spirits to hear us when they could hear us all along. Don't spare howls and salty trails of water down your cheeks. Death is normal. Death is beautiful. Death is pain. Death is end and new. Let's not hurt ourselves over this. They surely wouldn't want us to. Honestly, I feel very cathartic about making this video. Like, there was something about this piece that just invoked so much emotion in me, so much that I feel like I've gone through. Maybe this wasn't the original intention of the artist, of the game dev, but combined with the music, the exploration, and the beautifully written dialogue, it just hit something in me so much. And whether this is the meaning of the piece or not, I definitely took this away, and I definitely saw so much beauty in this. Juneflower, and to all the people that worked on the game, you guys did an amazing job. I really felt like I was staring at art, and I really took away something from this. I feel lighter. So, thank you. Well, what did you guys think about the game? What did you feel when you were surrounded by the art? 12. What? What did you relate the relics to? What did you relate the entirety of the piece to? You know? I would love to hear all of your opinions and, oh, a hummingbird. I would love to hear all of your opinions and takeaways down in the comment section below. Also down there, hey, that's weird, a thumbs up. Why don't you give the video a big smackaroo, a big like, and show some support for the channel if you truly did like the video. And while you're down there, why not hit the big red, the big ding ding, you know the sound effect? The subscribe button, pick up a backpack, become a backpacker today. And with that, my name is Backpack Comics, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Have a nice night.